This stream contains fast-flashing images that may affect viewers who are susceptible to photosensitive epilepsy or other photosensitivities. Viewer discretion is advised.
From all around the world have come together to see the penultimate chapter in the 2024 season. It is the super team stacked with champions versus the rookies looking to finally bring home a trophy. Hello everyone and welcome to the Champions Seoul lower bracket finals. We're coming to you live from the Inspire Arena here in South Korea. I am your host Yingsu and I'm joined by Mimi, Paperthin and Achilles on the desk. Hi, you guys were over there yesterday.
We were. It was great. It was a great game, fantastic way to just send a brand new team into the grand finals. EDG on an incredibly hot run right now.
Yeah, it was an incredibly hype match. I mean, I had so much fun being there, being a part of that moment. That first map, going to OT again, was so exciting. And then EDG coming back looking so strong on Lotus and Abyss. Can't wait to see what they're going to do in the finals.
Yeah, and we couldn't be set up for a better lower final to qualify that second team. A rematch of that upper semi. The team who's done it all, who's won trophies before on their players versus the squad who has been the upstart of the year. It's going to be great either way.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I want to check in real quick as we take a look at the recap how everyone's pick'ems are doing because Mimi, did you have EDG making a final?
Absolutely not. I think that all but the most die-hard EDG fans likely did not see that coming. They have been to so many events, they have always gotten so close, but once they broke through that glass ceiling, made the top four, I mean, they just looked unstoppable. And the second game, I think everyone thought after the start of the second map that it was going to be all Sen, but an incredible comeback by Team Heretics here.
I think yesterday was the first day I believed in EDG, so like, for me, it was like, finally, I picked them to win that day, and they did, and I'm like, okay, I guess I really should have just checked ahead of time that it was actually going to be EDG's tournament.
Yeah.
You believed?
I did. I believed in EDG, and I believed in pretty much all of these teams, and it's so nice to kind of come into this stage of the tournament and have no real stakes to worry about, no teams to really concern myself with.
Oh, God.
Because at this point, it's just nothing but Pacific in the top four, and I think that is the most
Pacific team
excellent
is
thing. No, every team remaining in this tournament, in fact, from the top 6, has been a Pacific team. So we will have a Pacific team lifting yet another trophy. This, Mimi, it is true.
DRX is they're at
It doesn't matter. They're all top 4 Pacific, and you know what?
Can you explain it?
I'm gonna prove it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay, I look forward to this because
he has a presentation.
I will pick up what you're putting down, so
Oh, God.
let's do it.
All right.
Here's a map.
Let's take a look now, and we're going to start with EDG. I've done a little bit of preparation here. EDG. Now, the first ever tournament, international, global, if you will, that EDG competed in. You know how they qualified for that? East Asia,
yeah, it was an LCQ.
They played against Korean teams. They played against a bunch of other squads.
But that doesn't make
And look
them
at this.
Korean.
Oh, here's China. What is that next to them? It's the goddamn Pacific Ocean. EDG. Boom. Pacific.
Okay.
This is what I have to put up with, people. This is like my life.
You agree with this?
You absolutely should.
Let him go. No,
all of them. I got excuses. I got reasons for every single one of them. Okay, let's go.
Bring it.
What about Leviatan and Sentinel?
Okay, Leviatan. Boom. I got it ready right here, Mimi. I've done my homework. I know what questions you're going to be bringing to me. Leviatan. We're over here. We're in Chile. Ooh, what is Chile? Right next to it's the Pacific Ocean. You've got some Chilean players there.
Team.
But you also have Calm, who has Korean blood in him. Pacific squad, boom, Chilean players, Pacific.
I don't think you're DNA testing players to know what league they're in.
All right,
you already mentioned it. You already mentioned
them.
That's Sentinels. This one's easy.
I don't understand
Los Angeles, where's Los Angeles? It's right over here. What's it next to? The Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
But, ace in the hole.
Keep digging
we got second. We got second.
He's got you
My
there.
little Filipino boy.
There.
Absolutely running all over them with the neon. Boom, Pacific.
He's from
infallible.
New Jersey.
The trophy is already ours.
It's next to the Atlantic Ocean.
All right. I am buying what you're selling. However, Team Heretics, there is no shot that you could claim this.
Oh, but you are so wrong. Let's just cover that up because I made a mistake earlier. So we'll just say, yeah, Pacific. Heretics, you're right. How do I justify Heretics how do I work them into this crazy narrative that I have for myself that they could possibly be a Pacific team?
Surely this will be
We're
rational.
over here at Turkey. Now, who's been one of the top performing, if not the top performing player on
Rienz,
Heretics in this
maybe?
tournament? Rienz.
Yeah.
Rienz is from Turkey. This might be a Spanish organization, so I'll go ahead and I'll move them over here. But Rienz has been
But
the
Spain
GOAT
is
for
on
the
the
team.
Atlantic Ocean.
And it is, that's so true. This is not
The
Pacific.
Bosphorus
I already wrote it here.
Strait does
Not
not connect to
Pacific.
the Pacific Ocean.
However, the landmass of Turkey, 97% of which rests in Asia.
Dude,
Rienz,
you're
he's the
gonna
best
bring
player.
out
There's another Turkish
Pangea
player
to
on that
justify
roster.
The next one.
They all rely on him. Therefore, he carries the team. Therefore, team
Now,
is Pacific. We're
hold
lifting
on.
the trophy. Doesn't matter. I got it all down. And Pacific fans, rejoice.
Yes.
We have another trophy.
No. Here's the deal. I have to deal with
Ridiculous.
this guy all year, so I've been saving something because I feel like he would need it eventually. And my friend, you have
Okay,
finally earned it.
well, I have hair that can be messed up, so
no,
let's
but,
go ahead and...
Oh, yeah, I see how it is. Okay, well, fine. I guess I have to protect myself
Nice
from
little
you.
white chocolate
with this.
Hershey Kiss over there.
You got me. I'm with you. Pacific, let's go. But I feel like we need something to soften this up. So let's take a look at what Sideshow has been up to with Zelsis and Benji Fishy.
Hey, how's it going? I'm joined here by Benji Fishy from Team Heretics, Zelsis from Sentinels, and we're going to play a quick game of Never Have I Ever. Now, if you're too young or too sober to have ever played this game before, it's very simple. I read out a statement, and if you have done it, you hold up the have, and if you haven't done it, you hold up the have not. It's really easy. So I'm going to kick it off with this one. Never have I ever lied to a teammate.
He's lying right now.
Does it, like, what do you mean by lie?
That's a great question. What a philosophical question for us to ask during this.
I mean, come on, you've never lied. Okay, if like you hit someone to 1 HP, bro, you hit him like 20. Like, let's be real. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, any lie, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, never have I ever talked smack in person.
I have talked smack.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I actually, I mean, every time I've talked, I've lost the game. Every single time. It started in LCQ at a press conference. It was my first ever game in Heretics, LCQ against Koi. And I said to Coldamenta at the time, I said to him, if you get more than 10 rounds in the whole series, it's a loss to me. And they won the first map. And they won the whole thing. So,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, next one. Never have I ever played a prank on a teammate.
Oh, I have played. I have.
I have
played.
not, no.
I think I have.
Anything that you're allowed to tell us?
Back in the C9 house, we used to do this thing where people would sleep, but they would lock their doors. But we had a massage gun, like those thermal ones that just went. So we would just go to their doors and just like put it on the door, and it would just make the loudest sound ever on the door.
That is so much more wholesome than where I thought that was going when you said people would sleep with locked doors. Never have I ever been late to something important.
I've been late.
Does practice
Not by
count?
choice, but I've been late.
Right? What do you mean not by choice?
Well, like, you know, your parents sometimes, like, you know,
Right.
they're sleeping or something, and they're like your ride there
Your
or
parents
something.
still take you to practice, do they?
I wish. My life would be easier.
I'm not gonna lie, I was also I'm almost never late to practice. Almost never late. But this event, my alarm didn't go off and I was like 1 hour late to prac.
1
Yeah,
hour
1
late.
hour late. Yeah.
Brutal. That is brutal. Never have I ever been nervous before a game.
I've definitely been nervous.
Yeah.
Any games in particular?
Every game.
Really?
Every game, yeah. I used to fight my nerves. Like, I would be like, oh, I'm not nervous. Like, I'm not nervous. And it would make me more nervous.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, yeah.
The thing that I've heard from most pros is that you actually have to embrace that feeling because it's like energy you feed into.
Yeah.
It's like a big performance coming up from.
For me, I mean, it's quite weird. The thing I've been most nervous for is a chess tournament.
Really?
Yeah, I played in, there's a streamer tournament called PogChamps.
Yeah.
And I played in it, never been so nervous in my life. Genuinely, doesn't matter, it was before I played the Fortnite World Cup on the big stage, chess was more scary, but by far.
What rating are you?
I don't play much now, I was like 1500, 1600.
Wait, you're actually
Yeah,
good.
I was pretty
That's
good.
like good.
I was-
Wait,
Yeah.
no way.
I got coached by Magnus Carlsen's coach, so I mean I had a bit of like an advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm losing the aura battle here, bro.
That's crazy. All right. We'll try to get you back on track then. We'll try to get you back on track with this one. Never have I ever let go of the defuse button too soon while celebrating. You ever done that before? That's a classic.
Have I done that?
Ooh,
I'm trying to think if
I
I've done it
have, but in
CS.
ranked. In ranked. Thank
Ranked?
God, not in official. Oh my God, if it was
Does
in
it
an
count in
official-
ranked? I have in
Yeah,
ranked,
I've done it in
for
ranked,
sure,
but 100% never in an official.
Okay, but
though.
never
oh
in
my
an
God,
official.
I'll be killed by my
Right.
teammates.
Well,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah, right.
I don't want to put that out into the universe.
That's quite scary.
Actually, I let go of it was C9 qualification to was it Champs? I think it was Champs. I let go at 11-11 on Ascent on a Sobol because I didn't think I could stick it. And to this day, I still don't know if I could have stuck it, but I let go.
Well, thank you very much for sitting down and playing the game with me. We learned a lot about everybody and some things that I'll never be able to forget. So, all right, thanks.
Thank you.
Good luck in both of your games.
Thank you.
The one game you're playing against each other.
Oh, I miss Zelsis already. I miss him. But unfortunately, as you can see on the bracket, Sentinels, they were knocked out by Heretics on their way here. How much do we read into that game? How impressive was it for Heretics?
I think it was absolutely huge for Heretics to bounce back in that game and stay alive here. Something that they've really proved throughout this run in the lower bracket is just how comfortable they are at this point on that stage, in that lower bracket, and now going all the way to earn themselves this rematch today against Leviatan.
Yeah, of course. I love how you mentioned that it's a rematch because, Seth, it didn't really go Heretics' way last time.
No, not exactly. Pushed down into this lower bracket where they're trying to go on this run to get themselves back into yet another grand finals. Pressure is going to be mounting for these players, but they have that bit of momentum behind them, whereas LEV is going to be the team who's kind of still reeling from that maybe very unanticipated loss to EDG.
Yeah, and that brings us to today's MasterCard fan poll. We want to know which team you think will be taking on EDG tomorrow for that trophy. Scan the QR code to cast your vote, and we'll have the results in just a bit. And make sure while you're at it, use the hashtags VALORANT Champions and VCT so we can feature you on the show. Here is the $1 million question. Paper thin, who do you think is going to be facing EDG tomorrow?
It's really tough, but in the runbacks, it's really hard to beat a team twice in a row, especially in such a short amount of time in an event like this. Like, a lot of times it just takes really minor changes, really small things that you need to tweak, that you need to adjust to beat them. Plus, it's going to be a best of 5. I'm going Team Heretics.
Oh, I was like waiting to see where that was gonna go, but I like that. But let's talk about that man you guys just saw on your screen here, Com, because my goodness, Mimi, he has been great in this tournament. Champion
He really has. I mean, struggled a little bit in their last series, but Com, this was, I think, the worst year individually for him since he became a pro player at this tier 1 level. But he has stepped up massively in this tournament, and it's not just his stats, his clutches, him always flanking as you know he's going to be, but I think it's also the impact he has on the team and the energy that he brings to them, Seth.
Yeah, and we actually got to hear Potter talking about that in one of the halftime interviews yesterday. She said that, you can't always quantify by what you see on screen what a player is able to do, what they bring to a team, and she did big up Com and say that he is a part of just keeping spirits high, keeping people focused in on the game, and I think that we have seen that, because always, even if he's not fragging out of control, which he was doing at times yesterday, his utility is always on point, but he's also always the guy who's saying, like, it's okay, we got this, good job on that round, etc., etc.
Yeah, honestly said, anytime you mention Potter, I'm going to deliver, because we actually have the clip here. Here is, of course, EG's coach Potter talking about Com.
Potter, hello. Now, I want to ask you about Com, the Seoul defending champion here. In Champion Seoul, what does he bring to the table when it comes to big matches like this?
He just really controls the awareness and the tone in the team. Communication is such a huge part of the pace and just understanding when you're going to fight and things like this. But Corbin's awareness is just next level, and he just pulls his teammates up to where he's at, and so it helps with the flow state for all the players.
All I want in life is for Potter to talk about me in that way, Paper Thin. I feel like that's the greatest vouch you could ever get as a professional player.
Yes.
Yes.
That's all that needs to be
Agreed.
said. Yes, she's an amazing coach, obviously, and she's just so good with her players and her teams. Like, everybody I talk to has nothing but positive things to say about her. Obviously, we've worked at her at events in the past as well. Just an absolute treat to work with. Such a great mind she has for this game. No higher praise could be found.
Yeah, but that kind of means how impressive Com is, right? The fact that Potter is saying these things about him.
He's insanely consistent, too. I mean, you looked at the stats earlier of what he did last year in Champions versus what he's doing this year. It's basically the same thing. He's going to provide you, at least at the big event, consistency. Yeah, some of the, kind of criticisms have been that he hasn't always been consistent in the regional leagues and things like that, but he shows up for the big stages.
He's going to be the most important player in this lower bracket match. He's been here before. He went through the lower bracket to make it to the finals and win in 2023. And after that tough loss yesterday, he's going to have to keep his team in it if they want to do the same in 2024.
I mean, you heard it from us. Let's hear from the man himself, Com, who spoke with Mika Fabs earlier today.
I'm here right now with Calm of Leviatan. Now, Calm, that grand finals is getting closer and closer. Is there something that stands out about this time compared to others, especially since I know this has been a personal trip for you, right? You've been revisiting your roots, so does that factor in more pressure?
Yeah, I would say like being in a totally different country. Last year it was kind of in the same country, right, where I was in LA. This year it's in Korea, in like I guess my second country. And yeah, it's like more pressure, but also it's like more fun. Like pressure is like a gift, honestly.
Oh, I love that. And it's like two different homes, right? And do you think that this match versus Heretics is going to go the same way it did last time?
I think they'll have like good stuff for us, and I think when you lose to a team, you learn more about why you lost and stuff. So I think they'll come in with a different fire. It's just about us adapting to it.
Amazing. Well, good luck out there.
Thank you.
And I hope they've had time to learn, because it was just yesterday at Kilios that they dropped down to this position after losing to EDG.
Yeah, and this is a tight turnaround here for the side of Leviatan, and it's a very different beast that you have to get ready for compared to EDG as far as the playstyle is concerned. So it's going to be a big change up on multiple fronts. But, you know, Calm has been in this position before, so maybe he can pull it off again. Ironically, he's the one who's kind of maybe have to guide Icebox a little bit more through this one, because when Icebox was able to get his trophy, he was able to do it through the upper bracket.
And I think we have specifically, seen some of the issues cropping up that we saw earlier in Leviatan's year when they had their failures at Shanghai and back in the Americas playoffs of Stage 1, where some of the fundamentals were slipping. We saw underperformances from some individual players. They got completely locked out on Lotus. Their game plan was all around playing these set retakes, and they were getting disrupted almost every round by EDG and failed to adapt in time. And even their best map, Icebox, well, they looked great in the first half. They almost let that one slip. That very easily could have been a 2-0 loss for Lev, so they need to fix a lot coming into this best of 5 today.
Yeah, and this is the other thing. Icebox in this best of 5, Papers, and surely it is going to come up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've prepared a little bit of a segment here. I want to go over one of the rounds that we saw from this team in their previous matchup on Icebox. And I want to talk specifically about Leviatan and this double controller comp with the Harbor, what it does really well. So let's jump into it. First thing I want to point out to you is there is a whole bunch of ults available, the whole kit and caboodle here for the side of Heretics. So you would think this is going to be a pretty difficult round, but off the rip, some really important positionings that you're going to see. Something that a lot of conditioning being done here by the side of Leviatan with a cascade off the rip and then a recon dart that is going to displace whoever's right there by yellow. In this case, it's Boo from the side of Heretics. That's going to force him back. And that's going to give a lot of space and control. This makes it really difficult to play against because you don't know exactly what's going on behind that cascade. Sometimes they're going to push off of it, sometimes they're not. A lot of space controlled. Now, as a counter move to this, it is going to be Heretics trying to take some space. So we'll go a little bit further forward. Also, an important thing to note here, there is a smoke in middle. It goes down, that's the poison cloud from the side of Leviatan. So they've got a lot of map control. They're taking 2 parts of the map away from you here early on, and that's going to allow them to move over towards A. They've got tons of availability of space and information except on A. So what they are going to do after this drone that's forced out because of that poison cloud, by the way, so that's really difficult to deal with, is they are going to have to use a drone of their own to try to get in a little space. This high tide, the default high tide that you're going to see from Leviatan all the time. And then I want to really highlight what's going on here for the side of Heretics. They're pinging this out. They have to be concerned because of this smoke. They don't know what's going on the other side of this high tide, so they are going to use the Hunter's Fury here because they are worried that there's going to be a fast execute. They also know that there is a Viper's Pit available, and that's going to make things a little bit tricky for them. So let's get into it a little bit. A lot of util used here by Leviatan as well. You can see those shock darts, the recon dart. Calm doing a great job with his util, selling that it's going to be a little bit fast, but it's a pause and a reset for the side of Leviatan. This is something that they do so well behind these smokes. They pause, they take their time, they wait for you. And then there's going to be a lurk in mid as well. Plant is going to come down, so they've got so much control of this space, but really key. Okay, I want to highlight what's going on in the map. There was a Viper's Pit, you remember. It is intentionally dropped here because they know they've got all these ultimates. They've got the lockdown, they've got the thrash. So what does Leviatan do? Look at how they position themselves up in the corner. They are anticipating this thrash. There's a dizzy that came out as well from Woot. They are very ready for this thrash to come through, and they are playing to clear it. Now, to Heretics' credit, they do a really good job with this. There's also the ult from Mazzino, which they had funneled to him, which is something they do on this map. They are constantly funneling orbs and ult to him. But then Calm steps up, gets a huge 2K. Aspas steps in, so they're all ready for this Flood retake from the side of Heretics. Boom, there you go. But the biggest point here, the overall thing, is the way that they use those smokes to control the map. They're on every single entry point. They're mid, they're B, they're A. They're making it so hard to get a read on what they're doing.
Absolutely, but I think we saw even in that round, when it did look good, it still relied on some individual multi-kills at the end of that round to close out. They're really relying on players like Calm, like Icebox, to step up in those moments to keep them in it.
Yeah, and speaking of those players, let's talk about Aspas, because this is still everyone's, I feel like, demon here. You ask other Duelist players, Achilles, they all say that he's the best.
I mean, how many players coming into this tournament have, have stated that they idolize this guy, and have been watching them since they kind of started their careers. Aspas has always been at the top of everyone's list when it comes down to Duelist players, since, 2023, I suppose.
Even earlier, 22?
Well, at 22, there might be some contention.
Sure.
Duelist-wise, yes. But Aspas has always been up near the top. This guy is and can be a demon, but we saw him banished a little bit in that series yesterday.
I think the biggest difference in this matchup when he's going to be playing against Miniboo is how they're taking their fights and when in the round they're doing it. Miniboo is so proactive at taking early duels. He's sacrificing himself for the team. He's going in really quickly with the Neon, whereas Icebox does not take as many risks. He's not as involved in as many first fights as that Duelist on the other side, and his impact, if it's going to come, has to come in those mid and late rounds like we're seeing. And the kind of sacrifices the team makes because of that is that they aren't able to go for as many hard entry rounds where they're fast hitting into sites. I think sometimes it can be a detriment when they're struggling, but when he's playing at his best, Icebox's impact in those later rounds wins Leviatan games.
And real quick, I want to note that that's something that I thought might have hurt them a little bit against EDG, is the way that they play with Icebox, that they don't always have that entry power to kind of break open doors, where he's playing backline, he's grabbing that attacking side op, and to try to go for, having him be the guy at the end of these rounds, and it didn't really work out against them, so I'm curious if today there's going to be a change-up in the way Leviatan positions their star player.
Yeah, and of course, they're going to be going up against Team Heretics. We mentioned the rematch already, but the difference is this time around, Achilles, Heretics, they're coming into this with confidence, with a win in this lower bracket.
No, they absolutely are. And again, it's about, getting those gears turning. They were able to do that yesterday with some fairly dominant showings, in the latter half of the set over Sentinels. Right now, I think that Heretics should be coming into this one very riled up, very confident, and they have been in this position before. They've been able to punch their ticket into a grand finals by making this light little run after getting knocked down and being able to conquer. I think that, overall, Heretics are in such a good position because there's so many things I feel that LEV need to fix.
And this is a chance to repeat history for them. They have had the second place curse all year. Second place at Shanghai, second place in 2 finals in EMEA, and now they're in the exact same position they were just a few months ago in China. If they can win this match against Leviatan, they have a real chance to kind of make right on that history, to end their year on success, but it is still going to be really difficult to do so. But I think the biggest difference is that they're coming with that confidence you're talking about, Yinsu, versus a Leviatan who looked like they were lacking it towards the end and really struggling with some of their fundamentals in that map 3 of their series.
Yeah, and confidence on some players who are just ridiculously young. We talk about that. This is the year of the rookies, and this team embodies that sentiment. I want to talk about Woot real quick as well, because remember, you guys, Heretics in the beginning of the season picked up a player that was not old enough. He was ineligible to play in VCT full stop, and then he comes in, look at the agent pools he's playing. He's at this point pretty much played everything, and role-wise at Paper Thin, he's shifting and moving tournament to tournament, and he's looking great on everything he plays.
There's been a tremendous amount of weight put on his shoulders as a player this year, for such a young player as well, to come in, to have to change all these roles, to be put in so many high-pressure situations, and he's mostly performed. Now, the last time against Leviatan, it wasn't his best performance. He had like -17, I think, in his K to D. Definitely not what you expect out of him, because he's usually fragging out of his mind. So he's a big piece of the puzzle here today for Heretics to get over Leviatan like they couldn't before.
He's a player in the mold of the absolute best rookies we have had in this game. If you think back to the all-time first-year performances for players, you think of Zekin in 2022, you think of Alphayer that year as well. And the similarity between all these players is playing a variety of different roles, showing massive amounts of maturity despite their young age and stepping up and finding massive performances with their team. It's been a while since we've had a guy like this, but Woot is finding his absolute stride, no matter the role, no matter the circumstance on this Team Heretics roster.
I mean, rookie aside, I think the last time you had a guy like this was kind of Forsaken last year with the peaks that PACIFIC were able to hit, just given that flexibility.
Yeah, and I love the word year because he hasn't even been here for the full year. He literally,
it's been like 6 months.
He wasn't even 18 before the season started. But let's catch up with the man himself. Here's Mika Fabs with Woot.
Hey guys, I'm here right now with Woot of Team Heretics. Now Woot, you guys had a massive victory against Sentinels yesterday. I feel like I have to congratulate you for that. But how confident are you guys up against Leviatan? Because previously they won against you guys 2-0.
We are always confident about who we're playing against. But this time we're not gonna focus on the names. We're gonna focus on ourselves, and we're gonna play our game. So it's gonna be easier than last time.
Gotta love it. Gonna play your game. Now there is a bit of a question with the team's history with best of fives. Do you feel like the team's stamina has improved, especially with all of the events that you've qualified for this year?
I think yeah, we had a lot of experience about the best of fives, and we're gonna use it in the stage. Especially in Shanghai, we played all of the stadium matches. So we had a lot of experience about it.
Okay, excited to see it. Best of luck.
Thank you.
I mean, this is definitely could be an issue for them in this best of five. Benji, yes, Benji, you show them. You show
Don't
them.
headbutt the camera.
But let's
That's
talk.
very expensive.
Let's talk about this best of five record, Kilios, because it's not looking good for Team Heretics.
No, overall, across the board, in best of fives played for the side of Heretics, they've only been able to get one win
Just the one.
so far. So it has been a bit of a struggle, whereas for Leviatan, they have had a couple of additional victories here for them. I think the biggest key difference to really keep in mind, though, is that for Leviatan, these are regional victories that they've been able to accrue for themselves over in Americas. For Heretics, however, they do have one on this global stage. The question is, can they get a second? Can their second ever best of five win be once again here in this moment that allows them to get back into a grand final?
And I hate to always bring it up, but the deeper we get into this series, a map 4, a map 5, I think that is where you really have to test how resilient are these rookies. They've proven it in Shanghai before, but this is a different level. This is the biggest stage of the year. This is a tough opponent, and this is the biggest match of pretty much all of these players' careers. So rising to that occasion and proving that you can be resilient in this long of a game against a team who has players who have lifted trophies on a stage just like this before is the real test today.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, because the only best of five that they did win was a 3-0. It feels like, Paper, then if we ever go into that map 4, map 5 territory, things get really, really, really worrisome for Heretics.
For sure, and they stumbled against Gen G, right, in the finals at Shanghai in a similar situation. But it wasn't America's team. They were going up before that, you know, so who knows? Maybe they're going to be able to flip the script here today. Maybe they're going to be able to have that performance that they couldn't quite do if it goes a little bit further beyond.
Yeah, and it's time for the results of our MasterCard fan poll. Earlier, we asked you guys which team is moving forward to tomorrow's grand final, and the results are in. Oh my God.
Good
Okay.
Lord. Well, that's just like the big best thing ever.
Oh, excellent.
I mean, just almost perfect parity.
Good work,
in the fan
fans.
poll. That, yeah, a round of applause for you, a golf clap perhaps. That was the closest poll I think that we have ever had.
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic to see, because I think that it honestly could be that narrow of a margin, but as you can see on the
Bring
ground.
it in, Mimi. Bring it in. Now, my reverse curse has been very, very good. So I'm just going to confess straight up, I'm doing this for Heretics.
I think on paper, Heretics are the favorite in this matchup. I think they looked so good in that last series. They've proven a real depth. I think strategically even, they have better ideas in a lot of rounds than Leviatan. And honestly, I feel like despite how young they all are, the firepower they have on that team can compete, even against this Leviatan that people have called the super team all year.
I think they're in a great position. We saw Gen G struggle versus Sentinels in their first best of 5 at a global event. They went on to go to Shanghai. They beat Heretics in a best of 5. I think Heretics, they take that as a learning experience. They see, okay, this is the endurance that we need to be able to get through a series like this, to be able to lift a trophy. I think that that is going to be such a huge boon for them here in this arena.
I know. Why did you go for Heretics?
I mean, I think it's two things. It's the run back, so usually the team that wins the first time, loses the second time at an event. Could be an anomaly, who knows? The other thing is I think Heretics just have a deeper map pool. I think overall yesterday, Leviatan has looked shaky in a lot of their wins, even on Icebox, their best map. It's always overtime, it's always very, very close, so just minor adjustments need to be made for Heretics to beat Leviatan this time.
And there's a lot of comparison there as well. The Icebox, the Abyss, I think Team Heretics are competent at both those maps that Leviatan are likely to pick in this pool.
It doesn't matter, right? They're both Pacific, so you're happy either
Pacific.
way.
I'm fine whichever way it happens. Doesn't matter what happens in the grand final. We're all set.
Where's my tinfoil hat?
Achilles. In a world of all the stresses, be like him, because it's time to kick off this best of 5 and find out which team will be playing for the trophy tomorrow. It is Leviatan taking on Team Heretics. The Champions Tour lower bracket final starts right now.
You're an AGL, you blame yourself a lot.
That second trophy for Calm, for Icebox, a little bit further. Out of reach, but still obtainable.
Especially because I felt like I made so much mistakes.
These are definitely like the high pressure moments when you're in your hotel room fighting your demons. But the most important part is just bouncing back from it.
I think we are as ready as possible. We played close to maximum amount of best of 5s that you could this year. The more best of 5s you play, the more experience you get. So we are ready to play against Leviatan, we are ready to play EDG after.
Team Heretics, they play really well together. They have really good individual moments.
The slow creep up, the noise has been made. Can he get that shot? He absolutely can!
We beat them before, but it was a close game.
Last time we played Leviatan, I think what they had is more confidence. So this time we just make sure that we do not hesitate.
Mini move quick as lightning.
We cannot doubt ourselves. We need to get the revenge.
I truly believe that we're gonna win Champions.
Tonight! Huge from That's what they like to see, boys. Let's go!
They definitely had their good moments in Madrid and Shanghai. So I think they're gaining the experience as time goes by. But I would say having 2 world champions is really important.
Icebox with his own knives is starting to take things down.
So I definitely think we have the edge.
We have 1 more life left. We're gonna give our all to win this tournament.
And hey, I'm stone cold. Good luck.
Leviatan. Team Heretics.
The grand finals is on the line here. Just one best best of 5 stands in the way of either Team Heretics or Leviatan making it. But this is a best of 5, like I said, and the maps are going to be very interesting. What do we think is coming up today?
I think we're almost guaranteed to get that Icebox early in the pool, and I think that map is going to define how this series goes. Leviatan has played it every chance they've gotten. It's gone to OT every time, and they've won it every time thus far.
Right at the top of the show.
But Team Heretics really pushed them last time.
I'm so happy Heretics decided to go for the Sunset this time as well. I think that's the correct choice.
Yeah, opting back into that map, one that was not in the pool when they played against Genji in that final that they ended up losing. But as you said, Mimi, that Icebox, it was close the last time they played it, but it has been close every single time for LEV. They cannot get a win on this map in this tournament without it going to overtime. We saw it yesterday, another 16-14 scoreline, 15-13 the last time these two teams clashed. How many rounds do we get this time around?
And this is why I'm so concerned for LEV. I feel like Icebox is like a must-win map for them because I think Sunset, Abyss, those are both heavily Heretics favorite in my book.
Abyss.
I don't know what they're doing there. I think they're a bit off the sauce there. I don't know why Lotus, but
I think that Abyss is better than we think. I think they made some individual mistakes. The coordination wasn't on point. I think that led to the map slipping. I think the way they play the macro on that map, though, is one of the best in this tournament. The way they're controlling mid with the Harbor dominating that space, especially on their defense, actually looked really good. But for me, Clint, it's all about them shoring up those mistakes, the coordination issues that we did see last time.
100%.
And they just don't have that much time to course correct, to make those improvements, to make those adjustments. My biggest concern here is that Icebox right off the top, because for me, I think LEV, if they want to have a chance in this series, they need to be able to secure the victory there.
Sure.
Otherwise, you could be looking at a 2-0 start from the side of Heretics. That can really just really work you down lower and lower, you know, mentality-wise, with your mechanics, with your play, and it could just end up being a blowout off the back of that.
And for the rookie players as well, being able to get out of this best of 5 in a 3-0 before going into that finals, I mean, that is best case scenario for a possible Team Heretics tournament win here.
There are two things that I'm looking for, one for each team. The one that I'm looking for Heretics is for the squad to big up that guy right there. Minibu, he was not in that best of 5 versus Genji over at Shanghai. He does not have that best of 5 global event experience, but the rest of the players do. They need to be guiding him. They need to be keeping his spirits high if he goes off to a bit of a rocky start. For the side of Leviatan, I'm looking for a Vandal in Aspas's hands when they are on the attack.
And I'm looking at Kong. He was in the lower final last year. He won it then, he won that tournament, and he is the player who mentally keeps Leviatan in one piece.
Here's my worry, though. I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Every single best of 5 these Heretics have played, when they lose one map, they have lost the entire series. They knew Icebox was coming. We knew Icebox was coming. There is no excuse here to let it slip.
No, absolutely not. And there's no changes whatsoever. And I don't think that is going to come as a shock to anybody. This is high stakes. To throw a spanner in the works right now would be such a bold move. So it's going to be stock standard for both of these teams coming into this one.
And I'm looking at this, and I know I gave flowers to Leviatan for the way that they play this map during my telestrator, but honestly, it's little things that need to be adjusted here for Heretics. A few better decisions with their ultimates and other things during some of those rounds could have been their map.
Well, I can't wait to get into this series. It is time, everybody. And of course, time to introduce your casters. Have fun with this one. Pansy and Steel.
Thank you so much, Yinzu, the desk leading us here to now. This is what legends will be written about. This game to set them in motion, potentially to lead towards that trophy, that grand final. Only one game away, but a best of 5 is a whole new battleground between these two, Josh. Heretics have an illustrious history in these moments. Leviatan on the other side, fabulous. They've got previous winners in these games, in this server. But where does your mind go? We have to touch on form, surely.
My mind goes to many different places, obviously, but form is a great one. If we want to look even just as far back as yesterday, they looked so different than we've seen them before. You know, LEV, they lost, but they were looking so good still. It was just EDG looked better. Heretics, the resilience aside of them with the aggression we haven't seen before to take down Sentinels, and we're going fast into this first pistol round as well to start things off.
Spot on. Heretics on the defending side. Obviously then means Leviatan on the attack, and already the man known for being the can opener for Leviatan is down. Aspas removed instantly. And now Heretics don't need to overextend. They can calm it down, sit on the side, but that's an opening and a big chance. Removing that anchor. sets Heretics out to shore, out to drift. They have nowhere to levy, and the shots are hitting. Com with a belter straight through middle. And I love what Tex is trying here. As long as he doesn't go too far, he secured them so much space. Oh, he's been outdone though, Rienz. Remember what he was like in that final map. Do they go back for this?
He calls him back. He calls him back. All of the Team Heretics players are rotated right now, but because of that Viper wall being refreshed with that Harbor wall, right now Team Heretics is going to stay and stay and stay. And King, look at his positioning. He's waiting to cut off the rotations as well, try to get another pick off, and this is so hard to trade out as well.
The silence is deafening now towards B, and they know it. They're behind the wheel here. The positioning from King could be outstanding. There's no way the Mini Boo checks this. He thought, and he actually did give it a go, but it's King who's rewarded for his diligence in approach, and the follow-up could have been happening, but no, back and forth we go! And Heretics carving a path back into this, but come in their way. A 1v2, a Sheriff, and almost full utility. Do not forget, he still has everything he needs and a plant.
It's planted for Belt. He's got 2 shocks, he's got Dart. Rienz is one-shottable. Woot, just 2 bullets to connect. This is a very winnable situation for Com. This is going to be difficult for Team Heretics. The first shock lined up.
He's ready, sends it. That's the first. The second, soon to follow. Now got the tag, but he now needs to swing. He needs to make sure, and he's absolutely doing it. 3 HP. He still has to land. Oh my God! The time is gone! Com staying cool enough, but by the grace of God, they get away with the first.
Wow.
Come on.
He got off. Com ran out of bullets, though. The only win condition there is to stick it. You don't have time to get off and then get the kill and get back on. But he goes, instead, he thinks about stats. No, you're going to be kicking yourself from that one. And Heretics, they had a rough start yesterday. They were missing their shots. They lost the pistols and both pistols that first map against Sentinels. They lost versus Classics. Boo had to backpack them on this map of all maps. But right now, I'm already seeing kind of the little things that are being placed around sprinkled. We saw already that Tex lurk up to take out Boo. Boo, predictable on that jump spot.
Yeah.
We saw that rotate back from A to B, and the kill on Benji as well, right at middle. These are the things that I fear about because Lev is so good with these lurks, with the flank timings, and with their audibles. And Team Heretics, they can't get caught here. Boo can't get caught at mid, at B, and Benji can't get caught at mid.
And stops, control towards the ult orb. And again, early Vandal out for Aspas. He was dealt with very handedly in that first round, unable to get much play building. But here we are going to be seeing a gamble stack from Heretics, opting for the 4 towards B, just 1 over towards the A site. As it stands, slowly but surely, Leviatan are taking that A space.
We saw Team Heretics actually doing a few of these gamble stacks towards B yesterday against Sentinels as well, where they had 2 or 3 players where normally it's just Boo to defend, but Lev's is going to walk into this A site for free. Maybe Benji goes for a fight, but it's going to be a plant. Going to be a convergence. And starting on Icebox is actually kind of interesting because last head-to-head, it was a Leviatan 15-13 win, but it was one of Heretics' worst maps statistically, so the fact that they got that close is surprising. And then Heretics surprised us yesterday as well by picking this against Sentinels, and they closed it out. But it's going to be a 2-0 start for Lev.
And at this point, I do start looking at the ult orb progress as well. Com doing very well towards his. Obviously after that first round, no surprises there. Mazzino not far away. And he's actually on farming this up. Lovely for him. Be quite close now. Aspas just needs to be cautious to not use the Vandal, and he does. Very clean work from Lev here, managing to navigate away from the stack. Caution paying off, and the second round for themselves.
It's this round right here where the half really gets going. Lev try to keep that progress towards those ultimates, towards those, just picking up every round that they can get. And yeah, you're right, Com is pretty close to his ultimate as well, and he's been pretty good with it.
Oh yeah.
Landing his Hunter's Furies, getting value out of it with a tag on a player, or just blind, just launching it, getting the zone value, but normally he just comes out with a kill.
Bonus time. Still got that 1 Vandal with Aspas, the rest more towards Bulldogs, and the Outlaw there is going to be interesting, but not too many light shields to be able to try and pick towards. It'd be Boo who'd be the one suffering if he does get a fight towards it, but very
Looks like an
fast
early
mid-work.
split.
Look at King already. Straight up middle. Manages to get past the turret undetected. They have no idea about this. Benji none the wiser. Woot looks like a victim in the making. He takes a look to the left, looks to the right, and he waits. That's patience, that's discipline, and that's a good goddamn reward, King! Outstanding impact already. Right up middle, perfect planning, and the reward is there.
That's a tough pill to swallow for Team Heretics right now. They're in a 2 versus 4, and it looks like they're looking for an opportunity back in here. Spike hasn't been planted yet. Benji.
You're not going to isolate a fight on the high-low there.
Not happening. And Boo just needs to save that. That round was over, like as soon as that Cascade blocked that turret line off. And sometimes we've seen Team Heretics start with a player on that boiler to stop that Killjoy Molly from taking out their turret. But the way that LEV play, because they have that second control in Harbor, they can send that Cascade out towards that boiler, block off that vision, and sneak through that gap. So Team Heretics needs to figure out a way to stop this from happening. Alarm bot, maybe play that player in that position, but great bonus round strat from LEV.
And I'm glad you noticed that. The fact that it came out in round 3 here, in my mind, really sets the standard. And it's going to force Heretics to make an adjustment now.
They have to respect it.
Exactly. It sets the tone. So do you pull Benji now away from where he was? Focus him now towards Boiler? Clearly they have to make their minds up. And to go for a little bit of a high, I wouldn't even say high risk, but it was a slightly risky approach from King. Why not in your bonus? You have that extra round as a buffer. A lovely concept.
There's 2 things I've noticed now about what LEV has planned here on their attack side in these first few rounds. So the first one was punishing Boo on that jump spot in that Tex 1v1 lurk at B. The second thing was now this A split by denying middle. Right there, that tries to force more of Team Heretics over to defend B, to defend middle. That's going to be less players to defend A.
So let's actually look at the tangible impact of that already. The adjustment of the Killjoy utility is there, Benji far more present. Now, they've set that. They've conditioned them to respect this, but you're going to see the buy obviously suffering. Only Boo making it away with that Phantom in hand. Sheriff's outside of it, but we know the Heretics can hit with this. And they've gone for a bit of an aggressive lean as well. Stinger close enough by. You've got Woot looking for a brawl here, but Aspas waiting. He's got a read on this one. Yeah, he absolutely does. Eyes on the prize for Aspas, but not perfect on the follow-up. Hold on. Heretics just found 2. King again, though. Anytime there might be a swing moment, he finds so much impact, even if just 1 kill. Mazzino, got to be cautious to not get overwhelmed here. You can see Benji desperate to get him. And Benji's going for the ends on the follow-up as well.
They know where King is.
Spike, and they've got to know about King. He was the one who took down Boo. How do they position around this? Let's see. An upgrade for Benji, a stinger still, but it's perfect from Heretics. What an adjustment. A couple missed shots here and there from Aspas, but they planned that from the get-go, Josh.
That couldn't have been more perfect for Team Heretics. And I was looking at Boo's positioning, aggressive on B. He actually goes 1 for 1, but that first kill, it was unpunished. Aspas, I thought for sure, yeah, you're right. He's sitting under belt, he's waiting for it, he knows his pipe aggression is coming. But this convergence at Maze with that dizzy and swinging from 3 different angles to clean that up, wow, that's a must-needed swing round for Team Heretics there as they lost that first gun round.
And a stark reminder that this was a very close series last time they met on this map as well. Heretics deserve and they command respect here. And aggression seems to be the name of the game. They're doubling down on this. Mini Boo! Too far, has to back away.
He goes
I
forward.
say that, Woot goes forward. He takes away Aspas, and now they once again try and do more damage. Re-ends from further afield, finding Mazzino. They've left Lev in tatters. Down to Tex, King, and Com. How the hell are you meant to make this one work now? So many bodies here. Lovely little off angle for Miniboo in case they try and push up. They can swing together, they can work together. And let's see, that's exactly the case. He gets a fair free fight near on King. And Tex and Com, what options do you have? A beautiful shot, no follow-up. Benji on the trade. Heretics starting to hit together as a team. Not impossible, but improbable, Josh.
I'm loving the repositionings together. They realized 3 versus 1. Let Tex get to the site, plant that spike, and lock himself out.
I love this.
Fundamentals.
Showing that heads up, that calmness on stage. Just look at this little stack here. Knowing that Tex might want some security. He might want some safety. Oh my God, but
he got the thing to HP.
What the hell, Tex? Surgical precision, and now he's got a real game. He's got a real chance in this. This was a 1v3, bear in mind. He's looking for another body to drop, but no one's giving him that game because Miniboo's been left having to scour away. Now, Tex with just basically that gun in hand. But 2 targets, that's 1. Oh, Mini Boo with 2 HP. More than enough for that man. Keeps this strong, but you saw the danger starting to creep in.
It's only been 2 rounds in a row that Lev has lost, but I would not be shocked to see if a coach calls a timeout right now with the way that they were moving up there. First round that Calm gets his ultimate, he doesn't even get to use it. They walk up, look, through the Viper wall alone, no trade potential, just everything is just so sloppy this round from Team Lev. They need to be more grouped. They need to be more...
How did he kill? That was insane. I mean, it was good.
It was.
It was insane.
That's true. So watch your back.
Yeah. Lev, they need to tighten up a little bit more if they want to do this. And they win off the back of their individuality and finding these openings, especially on their lurks. But the way that Team Heretics right now, they just won at A, they're stacking B right now. I love this switch up, and it's only one initiator to deal with this. So this dart from Calm needs to secure the info in back yellow. Otherwise, this setup from Team Heretics is going to crush Lev.
It feels like a trap, doesn't it? And now they look to get proactive. Heretics bringing the fight to Leviatan. The second they showed even just a centimeter, even just a pixel out of place, they pounce. And now once again they're down 2 players at the very start.
These early fights for Team Heretics, it was working so well for them yesterday. They keep doing it, setting up that fight with Mini Boo and that Gecko, the Dizzy Flash. But into A site, Team Lev go. They have that Viper's Pit. They might use it to secure this round. If they get a good spike plant, they get the good positioning on that Viper's Pit, they might be able to turn this 3v5 around. But that Thrash on the other side of things makes them second guess it. Tex holding his ground, so good in these positions to tap them out.
Time to go though. Mini Boo set into motion, and it's just poetry. Look at his connection on Tex. Caught King as well. Com, the only one alive, trying to secure his teammate at the least, but you can see the killer's on the way, and he is hungry for blood. Com can't defend them here. There's nothing more. How deep can Com go on this though? Not at all. Heretics are in control, Josh. The early aggression is gorgeous. They're taking the fights. They're playing together. They are putting ticks in every single box.
Not only that, but the way that Team Heretics defended A with aggression 1 round, and then instantly, as they crushed Team Lev, they instantly decide to call B the next round and catch these guys. Pants down, in the back, Mini Boo goes, Dizzy, everything, just perfectly timed.
This reminds me of early Heretics,
Good.
when they felt like
nice
that unfathomable team where no one quite understood how they were so good. The synergies there, the little game plans were there, and we are seeing them look so good here. But it's only 3-3.
Early B split as well. Oh, Benji through the
was
smoke.
that just straight through? Yeah. Oh man, I don't know if there was a gap maybe or something, but he's got his man. You can see King wanting to trade that, but there's no play allowed now. You got away with a little naughtiness in middle. They're not going to let it happen again. But for Lev, they're losing out on bodies so early here now, so consistently. This is the first time they've at least got towards yellow. They've got that, but they've still lost a man in middle. Benji brought back to attention, but already cleared a little by Mini Boo. I like this. They're so proactive.
Com's had that ultimate for 3 or 4 rounds now. 4 versus 5 here. Icebox has the Bladestorm popped. We know how deadly he can be with this. Already, Team Heretics, they have that man advantage, so they're trying to value their lives a little bit more, play for that retake. They have that lockdown. Yes, Com can counter it.
And Boo was marvelous playing from here before in just their earlier series.
Let Icebox get a little bit closer. Take the space. Deny the ability for Team Heretics to get close and get that lockdown.
30 seconds left. Plants in, post-plant now. One of the previous strengths Heretics held with a retake prowess. However, Aspas with the knives out. You can never underestimate it. Hunter's Fury will be burnt to deal with the lockdown. I can see that come in, but it's King holding the line. Somehow he gets traded eventually, goes down, but it's all on Boo. Ain't gonna happen now. King, wonderful impact. He has been the saving grace in my mind for Leviatan.
Finally, Lev pick up another round. That was a 4 versus 5 conversion there too. The way that they played that was so well done with getting close to B, getting into the site basically before they take out that molly, knowing that they're going to save that Hunter's Fury for that lockdown. But I have to wonder about Team Heretics. When they get this man advantage, they give too much respect, and then Lev is able to exploit it there.
or breaking the trend. Just what the doctor ordered.
A little change in the approach from Lev as well. They're faking this B pressure, but they're grouped towards A. They want to contact in here. But Team Heretics, they're not advancing.
Yeah, Miniboo and Woot waiting. And there's been aggression here, so they should be heads up to it. They should be aware.
Still.
They still have to deal with it, and it seems Tex was none the wiser. Woot can now evacuate as well. Again, early man advantage. How many times are Heretics going to get this?
Last time Heretics had that early man advantage, they backed all the way off here. They're trying to stay in maze. They don't want to back off all the way. They want to keep some pressure up. Rians pops that drain, gets this info. And this is valuable information. Pulls Benji and Miniboo back over towards A. 4 players to defend.
Yeah, but again, we saw them stick the landing in the last one. Leviatan closing that gap. King giving them masses of safety, but Woot still wanting a little more. Looking above the wall, and he finds a player, and the follow-up for Rians. Heretics finding the perfect balance. Aggression, discipline, back and forth, and Leviatan struggling to match this step by step.
I have the spike.
And Lev,
30 seconds left.
all these rounds are developing so slowly, and they're getting picked off. Some of these players, last round it was through the smoke at middle. Here it's at lower A after they try to fake their B. A different approach every round from Lev, but right now Team Heretics is almost perfectly reading them, staying a step ahead. Calm, trying to save here. Not much else he can do, not when his teammates go down in that fashion. Team Heretics is going to pick up another round, and when I look at the first 3 maps, when talking eye test, this should be in Heretics' wheelhouse to close it out.
Very much so.
Having said that, we did say that about Sentinels yesterday, and you see how that turned out.
Yeah. I feel at this point, all the teams we have here in these later parts of the tournament, even if you go back to yesterday as well, everyone can turn up. It feels like it doesn't even matter the veto at times. Obviously, there are strengths, but everyone here's capability is so sky high. Now, we're hitting round 9, and we do have that timeout. You theory crafted that you're seeing frustration. I mean, not great deals of it, and obviously the tempo of this game has been very hard to pin down, it feels like, for Lev. It's a timeout called. But how do you get a grip on this? Because, again, we've had the early aggression from Heretics. They've been often going for that. Both sides, we've been seeing it work well. But then also they know exactly when to fall back, play patient, play passive, and make Leviatan take that space. So how do you deal with this?
One of the things that you have to look for is that on Lev, they only have that Soba as an initiator. So to actually find out where Team Heretics is playing, you have to face check them. You have to show your body, take that duel. So what they have, though, that they can rely on is that double controller. To use the cascades, use the walls, to be able to deny info and create more pressure. What we haven't seen is how Tex is dealing with the turret and the alarm bot from Benji. If you create a little bit of pressure through middle by maybe mullying the boiler turret or peeking it and destroying it, then it causes Team Heretics to complicate things. But also, you can definitely take control of the map with just a dart and just a cascade and save your drone. We've seen a couple times now, though, that someone from Lev has died early through spam, through smoke, or through aggression in a high-low setup, and we're not getting any value from anything going on right now. But what Lev is good at is inserting Aspas on A, moving together somewhere else, and then letting the round develop, seeing if Aspas can take any duels. I mean, he's rated as the best duelist in the world. You give him the duels, you set him up on A like they're doing right here, they move somewhere else, leave him alone to take a timing if he wants it, put pressure somewhere else, take out that turret, take out that alarm bot, pressure Boo back, cause a rotation, and then go for it. Still a minute 20 left, and it looks like Aspas actually doesn't want to stay inserted here. It's going to be King instead. He's had value before, he snuck into A, for example on pistol round. Here come 4 towards B, and Boo.
Oh, this is so dangerous.
This is so dangerous.
So much on his plate. That's 4 players here. He's going to get contact and fall away. Tried to make a little bit of a stand, but he doesn't outstay his welcome, and it's the right choice. Leviatan taking all that B space. First time they haven't lost a player early. Ult comes in, quick rotations coming in. They were rewarded last time when they were... Oh!
Okay.
What a shot from Aspas. Mechanically, still one to always be feared, but Boo from the backlines. Did Aspas see the player? He absolutely did, but he's got one left, one right, one above. Boo gonna take away Texas. Benji finding Aspas, and again, Heretics holding the line. But look at King.
Pistol round all over again.
Rinse, repeat. Do they expect it now? Do they read it now? The silence once again deafening, ringing in their ears. The King gets active. Oh! Boo with another big shot. He is the backbone right now. So much faith in that man. Leaving just Mazzino. Oh, there is nothing to be done here, Josh.
10 seconds left.
Just a save again. And after that first shot, Aspas got from top yellow and Rien snapping over there towards Snowman. You'd think Lev finally finding a rhythm back in. Nope, shutdown instantly responded to.
The lurks aren't working.
They're not. The thing is, they're setting up these lurks, but when they're going towards these other positions, they're fully committing and
too much
losing
loss
too
there.
many bodies. If you just want to force that reaction, show your bodies once you've shown enough people there, or if you tap the spike if you haven't shown enough bodies there, that's going to force that rotation. Now you just fall back. But right now, they're trying to push Snowman with that Viper lurk through A. They're trying to do this late round connection, but they can't even secure the map.
Gotta say, what we're seeing here from Heretics is very, very beautiful Valorant. It's a perfectly balanced affair here. And it's putting Leviatan through their paces on a map that I'd say is probably one of their stronger points too. Loved watching Leviatan here. They don't get clean victories. We've heard that from the desk, a lot of OTs, but still, a very strong map. Locked down.
Team Heretics knew about this. They had Sova Gecko in position to deal with this lockdown. Harbor Wall's already up.
So locked in, reading everything, still struggling to break through towards the site. Leviatan making it up towards Maze. You're looking at the crossfire. Woot on one side, Rien's on the other. One up towards the belt. The swing from Rienzi gets cleared. That's better. Mazino going to find the first. Untraded either. Now Benji gets involved though. Chaos on the site. They know there's two on the site from the Dizzy. Tex goes oh, with back-to-back impact, but still, Lev this time have the player advantage. But they don't know about Miniboo. And hit and run. He's out of there. And down to a 2v2. A quick upgrade for Com. Can they find stability? Will they be outdone by the lurk itself? Look at Boo's positioning. But already Lev, they feel something's wrong. They can feel it in the air. There's something happening they don't like. They don't have that full picture on A.
Left.
But being proactive may not get them where they want. It's Miniboo on the angle. He's going to hear these steps. He's ready. He's waiting. And he's doing absolute wonders for Heretics.
That is so good from Team Heretics there. So often, Boo will rotate so late from that B site, afraid of a lurker, and wait until it's a full commit. This time he goes for the flank, but because Lev hasn't planted, they haven't fallen back into Boo yet. Miniboo knows, okay, they're pushing through, they're looking for me. He holds that position. Beautiful work, but again, another great convergence here on Maze, getting back into that top site, that nest area. Team Heretics is fighting so well together here. And usually we look at them for retakes. Here, they're fighting together, 4 people on the site to defend it.
They have the perfect balance, and it's terrifying to witness. And you can see the Lev are struggling to find a solution. They haven't found that one cure to their ills. Maybe trying to deal with some of that utility now. Maybe starting to explore middle a little bit. Apply pressure. Don't allow Heretics to have these secure rotations. And look at the reclear from Heretics.
Yep. This is what Lev needed to do. They broke that turret. This is the first time, we're at round 11, that they're actually dealing with this utility. Look at how Team Heretics has to move. Boo is alone at B. That alarm bot is the only thing spotting for his middle. Benji's spotting for that tube walk-in. And Boo has to give up all of B site here. King, Tex, walking up. They're going to take this contact. They're going to force a reaction. But instead, Lev, they're actually called back. They know that they have this site, but they don't have the lockdown this round to work with. They had it before. Team Heretics, what is this read? Look, they're already rotating. They're going to beat Lev here.
What are their tells? What have they got going on? They've got such a good read. Boo now absolutely knows it. Looking to invest the ult.
Here's a molly to stop the plant as well.
We can see if that comes in. Aspas trying to hunt him down, though. He's looking for that opportunity already. Going to have the ult coming in. Miniboo's fallen. King holding the line. Mosh on top, but it's going to be awkward from CT. It's King, desperate to do damage, but Heretics trading back. It's still a 3v3. Boo's ult in play. Rien still has his, and Benji is let loose, closing the gap. There's the ult from Rienz.
No.
Does connect. He's found him. He's taken away Aspas. He's clearing. He's setting up Benji, who's so reserved, so on point. But Com needs to clutch here, but he can't even see the spike. How much can he do? A tap's drawn his attention. He has to keep spamming. He can't escape. Boom brings him to his knees. And Heretics playing the perfect half here.
You have to keep in mind, Lev won pistol. They won that round 2. They converted the bonus. They were 3-0 up. It's 7-4 in favor of Team Heretics. They've been almost flawless in the last 8 rounds. Unstoppable. Their reads have been perfect. Their rotations have been timed perfectly. And when I looked at this map, I'm thinking win conditions for Lev. The lurks, the flanks, breaking that util, being a thorn in the side of Team Heretics. I see that on the bonus, that early flank on A, the split, perfect. Where has that been since?
It's been missing. MIA. Operator out for Rienz. They're going in. Hello. Go on, Aspas, have a round. Give us something. Keep them in their place. Right now, Woot shows no respect. Doubling, tripling, quadrupling down on aggression, and Miniboo almost rewarded. This man looks feral the way he's trying to just chomp away at them over towards A. But it's only him now. Big advantage for Lev, excluding the HP on Aspas. They have everything they would need. But Miniboo is unrelenting. He wants back in. Got faith in Benji towards B. He's got Boo over here as well.
A little bit of info for Miniboo. Maybe pauses him for just a brief moment here. Lev waiting for that slip up from Team Heretics. Team Heretics, 3 versus 5, maybe looking to equalize it, going for an aggressive peek. Lev can punish that, clean up the round safe. But right now, the full regroup, and Benji, he's got the alarm bot to cover his left. All he has to do is look right.
His timing was just... Okay, no, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And a couple of knives come whizzing past, but it's Com to find him. Now, we look at Boo, we look at Miniboo on the way, but they're far. This is the first time Leviatan have, it feels like, found that pattern, that, I guess, the tempo to play this right, and they have a free plant.
And a Viper's Pit to secure if they need it. Com, also Hunter's Fury. This is going to be difficult for Team Heretics to break through. That one-way orb to help get out, but Mazzino, bottom of the site here. And the flank.
It's gonna be two. Hold on. It's down to a 2v2. Aspas was already so low. The spam's so close.
No way.
Another body dropped. They're cutting down everyone in their way. But can King clutch this up? Boo commanding him to turn around to pay him attention. But King waits with patience, head held high. And he's gonna hear this. King now just has to play it to the clock, and he does. King keeping Leviatan within touching distance.
That round, that half, everything here has been teams reading each other. Lev, not the start they wanted, but still in touching distance.
Once it got to those dangerous rounds, the real thick of it, it was a Heretics game, but Leviatan showing tenacity and giving us a close affair at 7-5. Don't go away from this. Oh, come on.
Trade in any phone in any condition guaranteed and get $800 off the new Galaxy Z Fold 6. Only on Verizon.
A 7-5 half here. And scoreline-wise, it feels like a close affair, but let's discuss what that really means, Josh. How these rounds went down. You said it perfectly, of course. Leviatan started very well. They got the pistol, they did what they needed early doors. However, beyond that, you got to look at King for finding them impact. He got them, I'd say, 2 rounds in this one, easily, if not more. But beyond that, it was a whitewash for Heretics.
When I see that game plan coming in for Lev to pick up those first few rounds, I think, okay, going into the second half, we're going to see something very similar. But what ended up happening in that first half after those first three rounds was Team Heretics getting in the faces of Lev and stopping anything from developing. So here, is Lev going to be able to get away with their game plan again? already very aggressive contact play.
Taste of their own medicine perhaps here. Heretics are going to have a horrible surprise. They've heard the jump spot, but look who's waiting. Boo, they're aware. And now they're very aware, and it's an effective trade for Heretics. Boo! Breaking the backs of Leviatan with 2 quick kills, giving them the man advantage. Tex and Com have to respect this. You can't stick around. Com trying to make a quick escape here. And they've noted the follow-up player. They know where both of
spotted
them
Tex
are.
is like, they know it's both here.
Tex now. Oh, they run him like an absolute bug. Heretics starting with a bang in the second half.
That wasn't a book, that was a pamphlet. And right there, Team Heretics picking up that pistol round in that second half. Lev, they thought they had the read going in there for that aggressive push through lower A, but Team Heretics ready and waiting there. Maybe a little bit of a weapon switch at that moment, but the way that Miniboo was jump spotting from Bell to see if anyone was holding that deep line. No one was there, no one was pushed up on that higher angle. So it's either full passive on A or this aggression's coming in. Team Heretics ready and punished it.
This is a terrifying start for Leviatan, considering they struggled into the gun rounds. You were hoping that they'd at least pick up the pistol to be able to close gap, but now, yeah, they're on the receiving end. You can see Miniboo, once again, ferocious in approach, but he's going to be quelled here for now. Doesn't want to overextend, or give too much away. They can show patience here. You're looking at, on the other side, Tex has the Sheriff, the Xeno as well, and Aspas, so there's always a little bit of danger, but a stack.
Stack is at the wrong site. And Team Heretics is going to probably walk into a B site. They're popping the drones, and as we see them play on every map, basically, they like to group in these 4 or 5 man plays. If there is one lurking around, they're just holding that space and going for a really late lurk. But to the detriment of Team Heretics, sometimes they play rounds too slow. In a situation like this, when you're going against that eco, you want to make sure that you don't go into a stack, you don't get surprised. But not having options to fall back if you need it is something that has been a struggle for them. But in a 5 versus 5 post plant against Sheriffs on 3, Classics on 2, this should be an easy cleanup for Team Heretics. Now it's just all about prioritizing who gets the ultimate orbs. Is it Rien's? Is it Woot? They're the closest right now. Miniboo.
I mean, he's a hungry boy. You can see it every time there's an opportunity. He's giving it a crack. Doesn't want to get traded too far away. They're just going to fall off towards the backside of yellow. Leviatan testing the waters, but so far it's Boo. Fine with Xeno. Again, Leviatan probably opting now to go down to the spike at this point. And Heretics going to back away. Really, the only one they didn't want to lose out on would have been the likes of Woot, Boo, potentially. Maybe Miniboo keep that SMG in hand. That would be nice. Still very usable on the Neon. But Leviatan having to go through the paces here. They are watching this game slowly be taken away from them.
When we look at the context of things, best of 5, lower finals, you go home if you can't collect these. A lot of teams will use that first map as a warm-up map, kind of feel out the temperature of the room, understand how you're feeling, is everyone on point. So if this was Lev thinking that they were going to take that first map, and this is the way it's going, maybe they should have thought going a different map, perhaps the side of Lotus, for example, instead of Icebox, the way that Team Heretics was looking yesterday. Because if Lev cannot convert this, again, I look at that Sunset map 2, that Abyss map 3. Those are Team Heretics' best maps. They start 1-0 up here. Lev, big trouble for them.
Yeah, the red flags are starting to wave, but this is the
Scanning ahead.
big moment, though. Do we actually get a game here? Leviatan do need to convert this, otherwise it feels like it's so likely to work out for Heretics. But again, you've got quite a few rifles here. Boo's got one, Benji the other, Bulldog with Woot. Oh!
Good start.
Big impact there. Taking away Rien's is huge.
And for as many high-impact, high-energy moments this game has had, there's also been all these pauses. Oh, that's 2 players spotted on this drone. Right now, Team Heretics, they're down a man. 4 versus 5. They've been spotted 2 other players towards B. Right now, they have the option to either continue going B, where they've been spotted, or they go back to A. Right now, Lev, though, they want to re-clear middle. Make sure there's no lurk. Make sure that that rotation between A and B, they can catch someone on that rotation, but they just missed the timing.
This timing could be outrageous. He's seen to boost on a good deal of damage towards Mazzino as well. And while this happens, they press the issue towards A, speeding things up. Aspas waiting patiently. Could be death from above, but he decides to back away, play it patient. Tex shows none of that patience, none of that respect. He goes in head first, finds himself to a swing from Mazzino. Doesn't look good by the time. We're looking like this one is going to peter out here. This was the bonus for Heretics. And a big moment for Leviatan to try and stick, really, some sort of resistance starting. There we go, Leviatan 4 alive and very well handled in the end.
A bonus for Team Heretics, not converted, looking at the end of the round there to deal as much damage as they could to Lev's economy just to set up those next rounds here, playing that long game. But again, so many pauses in the round. It's like there's so much tension in the air you can feel in these moments. 30 seconds go by, 40 seconds go by, and barely any progress in the round.
I need smiles.
It's like there's these big, high-impact moments, and then people are suddenly get scared, nervous.
Yeah, the gravitas of the matchup itself certainly showing, as King has been solid as a rock, but he's being hunted down. Miniboo was thinking about it, but he wasn't alone. There was Com here on this site as well, so it's not like you get a fair fight on one. There is backup to this.
But it's pressure, it's map control, it's forced the reaction from Lev, but stealing the space, King getting behind yellow like this, yes, Team Heretics knows that this is in play, leaving Benji here to maybe take this duel. That re-clear on the drone.
I want to keep my eyes on how far forward he is here as well.
I also want to see how Team Heretics reacts off that drone.
At least going to invest the Dizzy.
Benji wants his fight.
I mean, he may want the fight, but the timing's going to be everything on this one. They're going to pause here probably, look and see if Benji gets rewarded. And now with the crowd, they're going to start turning around, checking behind them! And King commands the crowd, and he gets his reward, takes away Benji. And now you can see the 3 players on A on red alert. Aspas maybe got a feeling on this one, and he is right. The Dizzy dealt with, he can't get back in time. However, Mazzino, Tex keeping the A site safe. Tex is starting to heat up now, showing some real heavy hits. As Rienz will have to watch that clock tick away. Timing not going to be on his side. And this looking like a rather lost round. Beautiful from Leviatan.
And that first half had us talking constantly about Team Heretics and some of their players specifically when we look at Rienz, when we look at Benji and some of the positions that they play as the Sova, as the Sentinel. We have to look at Tex and Aspas here as well. Like, we can't not talk about these guys when it comes to snapping and getting those one-taps with the Vandals. These are 2 of the players on that team to do it. Yeah, there's other players that have different types of impact.
I can see the Reddit threads already. Yeah. I can see them.
Yeah.
I can't believe the crowd gave it away.
Yeah, welcome to Stage Games.
It's okay, we'll just start turning off the X-ray.
Now let it happen. I'm down for it. At this point, though, it is Sheriffs and it's Bulldogs. So this is enough to humble Heretics, right? This brings them back very much in the room. This stops being what could be a tear-away game. This is now game on.
Absolutely, it is game on. And again, these grouped hits right now, Lev having that read. 0 players to defend that B site.
Ooh,
they know the A hit's coming in.
Hold on. You may know about it, but it doesn't mean you're going to be able to stop it. Miniboo already taking away Tex, who's been pretty much the rock of this A site. As you know, Aspas has been doing okay on those entries, but he hasn't been the headline player here. But a readjustment.
Wait, what are they pinging? They're pinging like they want to split A through middle right now.
I mean, you took down Tex, why not try it? But the timing could be everything here. Com trying to make up for that, maybe just take a glance. He takes more than a glance, but he loses his life. I don't think that was worth it at this point. They put question marks now all over the map.
And now with that kill, Benji retrieves that weapon. He's going to group. They're going to be as 4. They have that Thrash as well to invest. They have the numbers now on their eco. They're going to have A site for free, get that plant for free, and he's going to be able to recover his Thrash for the next line. But early prey take maybe, perhaps.
I mean, they're going
to he took out his teammate with his Thrash. Oh no, Rienz.
A little awkward. But Boo's still here. They still need to clear out Boo on this, and if all the rest of Heretics can keep their attention turned, he's going to be death from above. A terrible surprise waiting. And now we look at what's remaining. Just Aspas in a 1v3. So many angles to try and clear by himself, and only 40 HP to do so. Benji got the rifle. Woot got himself the Bulldog. It's a disaster in motion for Leviatan, and Heretics will be happy with that impact.
I love how just as we start talking about how the scores are getting close, how Team Heretics is bleeding these rounds. They go on to an eco round. You'd think it's Lev crawling back round by round, but Heretics, with that first pickoff, with that Sheriff, transitioning, just getting these trades as well, just the positioning together to be able to get these trades is so good from Heretics right now. Lev trying to rely on their individuals to be able to close these rounds out, but it's not working for them at all, and it hasn't been all game.
Icebox one away from the ult here. Mazzino 2 off.
I think Benji just noted that cascade through the wall. He's alerted to this. He's going to sit in that spawn. He's going to wait for that push through and allow his teammates to go forward towards B. Lev, yes, they're transitioning over. Yes, they have weapons right now. But again, Heretics, they can just wait this out. 15 seconds, then they go again. Viper Orb's going to come back up. That neon wall, they just cross, they disrespect it, they get in there. Benji still alert to that A push. Right now,
waiting.
4 versus 3 on this B site though. This is in favor of Team Heretics.
Yeah, Benji's starting to lean a little closer though, just in case. The mini be waiting on the drop for the wall. He's gonna get one. The trades are so good. Great spacing from Heretics here. High Dizzy off the back and Rien's want to try and make it uncomfortable on the side. Mazzino trying to dodge above and around as best he could. Support's on the way, but it's far away. Tech's taking the long rotation. You can already see Benji's utility will be in play for that. Aspas has to go all the way around. We're gonna need an Aspas round here. Maybe Tex, maybe Mazzino. But they're gonna need someone to do some heavy hitting here. Tex gonna have to take the damage on this one, and Aspas already falling. It's Tex and Mazzino with the world against them. Heretics eyeing up that 11th. The composure is just perfect from them. Leaving Tex to try and walk this back. He's been noted. First one found. It'd be a 1v4 and nothing less. The clock is ticking. I'm already seeing Rien's sitting safe, sitting far away, making sure there's no naughtiness and there's not. It's 11 for Heretics. Josh, they are playing an exceptionally good game today.
They are showing that same form that we saw from them yesterday, carried over to this next day. Best of 5, lower finals. When we see them getting to these stage of tournaments, this is where they start to crumble, where, you know, at least 3 different regional matchups, they've crumbled. Vitality, Fnatic, and KC were some of the few that have taken them out in these types of stages. But here, looking very confident to keep steamrolling through Lev right now.
Setting up the tempo for them.
They look happy, they look confident, and it doesn't look like they're expending all their energy just to pick up this first map. It's a best of 5, it's a marathon.
It is. And have we even had a single Heretics timeout?
We haven't.
Yeah.
We haven't.
I mean, I think from what we've been seeing, they have the read. They found the perfect tempo to play at. For Leviatan, they are behind that. They are behind the curve. They've got a couple of ults here, though, and if you're Leviatan, you kind of need it to work out. As we highlighted, as we said, this is a marathon.
Yes.
But a map like this, losing it this way, it's not a good feeling. Even if you know it's a best of 5, even if you know that, you're still not enjoying what's being brought towards you. These are high-level plays out of Heretics, and that sounds silly almost at this point. Of course, we expect that, but they are playing really goddamn well. I mean, they've got the perfect read. So, Lev, let's see what you got. This is the difference maker here, because this half is already tipping quite heavily towards Heretics now.
Time to dig deep. Yes, it's a best of 5. Yes, team needs to get to 3 map wins, but to give up your map pick in that first round right before you play against your opponent's best map, that's not the start to a BO5 that you want. Team Heretics off the back of that timeout, the triple peek on middle.
They're just flexing a little. They are making this so hard to deal with. Even if it was a Leviatan timeout, obviously Heretics can check in as well, and they use that time perfectly.
The crazy thing about that is, so many times I've seen Team Heretics play on this map and wish that they would do a play like that, and I never see it. But they pull it out, and it works.
And Aspas already checked on. He's had to fall away initially, still wants to stick by yellow, but he's the only one on this side of the map. And it looks like a double pump. They're going all the way back around towards that A site.
2 things I look for here on that Lev defense. That lockdown, that Hunter's Fury. It's going to force Team Heretics all the way back. But can they capitalize off of it? I'm not sure about that. Yes, the spike's going to get planted. Yes, Team Heretics is going to back off. But right now, the rotation's in. And they might use that Hunter's Fury early to take them off the spike.
Boot clears side out for them already. Hunter's Fury, normally Com is good for this. He's not getting his usual reward. And Aspas doesn't get his connection. It's Boo showing control. Keeping the site safe. Lockdown is in. Plant is there, however. Rien's looking for his man, looking for a body to drop. He finds it. Lets him loose. He'll give his life up and he's done his damage. He'll accept his fate. He's basically given them 12. As now Com has to face the music, has to go and fight. Otherwise he has to watch this round tick away in front of his eyes. And now a 1v4, look at the angles, look at the positions. They're gonna have to move towards this though. He's gonna get hot. A great attempt, but not enough. Heretics up to 12. Beautifully played. And they have turned up here today, eyeing up that grand final.
I'm loving the evolution of this team right now as well. The way that they're introducing new elements to the gameplay that I haven't seen all year from them. The way that they go for that triple peek on middle, destroy a turret on that boiler angle. They find a pick instead. The way that Rien sits in this lockdown, waiting.
Bro, just tell me, go push. I push,
and
bro.
if anyone comes in a second or two before it pops, he's going to get the rewards for it. And it pays dividends.
And now look at them suffering. Mazzino can't even afford armor. They're just trying to make something happen, and Aspas just sent into the blender, sent probably into an early body bag. King affected by the Dizzy as well, and now they want to turn the screws, apply the pressure harder. But Heretics showing some cool composure here, and just pumping the brakes. A big test, and then just slowing it down.
Benji looking for that A push. He's got that higher belt line. Alarm bot to watch lower, turret to watch middle. Heretics pumping the brakes, waiting for this wall to come down. They still have that neon wall. They're still going to go here with that Dizzy. Combo it. 3 players for Lev to defend, though. It's going to be a big brawl here in the next 10 seconds or so. As soon as this orb goes down, that's the cue. That is the time to go. And Benji creeping up A right now, looking for that fight on Com.
Gonna get it. Contact's there. He's confident. He wants him dead. Com has to try and fall away from this. And they brought the player over. You can see Mazzino now worried about middle. They're causing all these doubts. And Heretics holds.
Not going yet.
And now we go. Do they clear back yellow diligently? Yes, they do. That's going to be one man found. That's King down on his knees. Miniboo carrying on his reign of terror. Gets down Aspas as well. The site now waving the banner of Heretics as Com and Tex far away, and they know it. The ult on top for Boo. Smothering and shrouding the plant here. Leaving Tex and Com praying on miracles.
Last round of the map. Seemingly Lev just going out with a whimper here, needing to crawl back and go the distance.
Last time they met, it was 15-13. A Leviatan win on this map. And the difference a couple days can make here. Heretics looking so goddamn lethal. Tex gives it a go, but that's all he can do. Has gone now in a 1v4. The time is up. This one's done. This has been a display of power. Message sent. Heretics are here today, and they mean business.
If Lev want a chance to climb back and get back into the grand finals, get another trophy on a couple of their players, they need to dig deep on this next map. Sunset is coming up. Heretics, it's been their strongest map all year. What does Lev have in store?